All right, guys, let's be safe out here. We already witnessed one wreck. We're gonna run over to Lawrenceville and take care of the first job, and then we're off to Noonan, Georgia. It's rough out here today in Atlanta. The turn up shit. Already witnessed one wreck just sitting at a gas station. Gotta go left because eggs hooked up. Clean that shit up. Go that way, buddy. Trust me and believe it is fucked up that way. This way. Turn that for river down the riverside. beast walking across the street. Big muscles. back. And pins.
You have a message. Yeah.
Piss twice. That is fucked up, man. Where is my, what's this?
Thank you for calling. Check out empty phone. Please hold while I try to connect you. Hey, baby, I just looked out the window and it is horrible down there. Like,
Oh shit, what the hell? Why are you stopping, car? Damn. Can you hear me?
yeah. Insurance card and photo ID is back into your hand, okay, sir? You can have a seat and listen up for your name. Your charge is going up now.
And if I don't want to listen to my name.
Yeah, no, I had just walked over to my copy machine. I had to make a copy of something, and I looked out the window. I was like, oh my God, it is looking horrible out there.
You get the
And
video?
I was just calling to see where you was at. That's all.
You get the video?
I'm looking at it now.
I mean, lamb. I'm talking about Rex and the shit happened right where I'm sitting and chilling at.
Right where you was sitting, babe. Oh my God. And then you walk over there to him.
And some
Okay,
fucking.
I got to go to that. And did he even seem like he want? I couldn't finish it.
I didn't want to put him on. I didn't want to put him on camera. He was still in the car. Stupid ass going in the exit.
He was going out the exit.
He was going in the exit.
In the exit, yeah.
And ripped that truck apart.
Oh my God.
The truck coming out, he coming in. Dumbass.
Wow.
Look at
Is
this
everybody
stuff.
okay?
He wasn't. I just wanted to get the document right quick and move on. I ain't want to be in the way. So.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, ain't that a bitch? I heard something go bam. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm on here minding my business and business came to me.
Look at that.
Now I'm ready to head to Noonan, so I got a long ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You gonna call me in between your ride?
I'm gonna call you when?
In between your ride?
It's gonna be a long ride. Hour and 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going straight down 85 too. Gotta find me a bathroom real quick. Then I'm headed to the park and see if my thing is still hanging there. I can't believe I left that motherfucker. Wasn't even thinking about it.
Listen out for your name.
What happened? It started raining and I started heading towards the car. That's what happened. That's what happened. See, what happened was. See, what had happened. That's what had happened.
It's been raining.
Yeah, the rain distracted me. Yeah, that's what happened.
You shouldn't have took it out. You shouldn't have been out there anyway. You should have did what your wife did, which was turn her butt
She
back
should
in the
have
house.
got wet with me, so we could have had sex in the park. In the rain.
I gotta go.
Yeah, all right. I got sex in the park. Come on, y'all. God damn. This is going to be more wrecks, I can tell. They driving too fast. They not courteous. They not doing the right things. They doing all the wrong things in this wet traffic.
Not the good time. This is not the time to be,
Super
like
fantastic NASCAR driving Dale Earnhardt Jr. And today is not the day for that.
Yeah, yesterday you was watching NASCAR, Bobby. What was that? Where were they?
They were in New York.
Oh.
Yeah.
New York has a racetrack?
You didn't know that? They got two.
Never knew this.
Yeah, two of them.
Oh, okay. Never knew that.
So there's salad still left in the refrigerator?
What do you mean?
I was going to chop the chicken up into a salad since you didn't eat yesterday.
There's plenty. Yeah, you got two spinach leaf bags. One is on each side of the egg carton.
Okay.
One is open, one is not. Then you got your tomatoes, your cucumber. You got your croutons, and everything's there to make a salad.
Excellent.
Got your dressing. Got everything you need. Okay.
Right.
All right. Call me back later.
Okay, we will. Peace.
Love you, baby.
Love you too.
What?
When everybody else was screaming about he can't even do recess appointments. He didn't say anything. Watch what happens. I think you're going to be surprised. All right, let me take a few comments, see what you guys thinking. I bet you, hey, Valerie, I bet you the curfews come if people act a fool, if they start trying to riot or something, but there was one incident yesterday, last night, but it quickly got stomped out, so you may not need the curfew if people do what they're supposed to do. You're absolutely right, Barry. Thank you. Not trying to be right, just trying to get you guys to think of what might else be happening. What other things are behind the curtain that we're not seeing? Sharon says, God made Trump a genius. I hope that we're able to see a memoir sometime after this whole thing ends, and we find out who were the brain trusts, who was the inner circle that were saying we're going to do it, and we're going to do it this way, and we're going to do it in this time frame. I'd love to know who that was. I think that would be phenomenal. Daddy Trump spanked Bowser. Yeah, when you look at it, and I know some people have accused me, Barry, you put together stories so that meets your narrative. I'm like, no narrative. I saw what he said. He posted it again. The woman went on MSNBC, and then he goes, she's a good person. There's no narrative there. I'm just saying, look, you're right. He looked like she got spanked. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to be supportive of three-letter agencies and do what I can and help the quality of life in Washington, D.C. Oh, my God. Oh, that's when you know something's going on right there. Yeah, it probably is. Stephen Miller is one of them. Absolutely. MSM will scream fascism. See, but here's the problem with the MSM doing that. The way Muriel Bauer acted, and if she shows up like I think she will show up tomorrow, and she's side by side or behind the President of the United States supporting this endeavor, the media can't say anything. See, if he took it over and he had people take her out of the mayor's office, oh yeah, it's fascism, it's racist, but if she's standing right there, you can't say anything. I'm going to be amazed tomorrow if I see the Caitlin Collinses of the world saying, oh, Muriel, are you going along with this? Right in front of her, trying to embarrass her. You're okay with this? Yeah, because he's saying this, but I can't believe you're okay with it. No, I'm okay with it. Once she says she supports this, the media can't say anything. It's done. I don't even think the Democrats can sue if the mayor says, yeah, I'm in on this. So I don't know how he got her to this position, but if what happens tomorrow is what I think is going to happen tomorrow, it gives nobody any room to go. You can't call it racist, you can't call it fascist, you can't call it Nazism, because the black woman's right here who's saying, yes, let's do this. That is some serious killing. I mean,
You have a message.
good luck, CNN. They'll throw her under the bus. I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard to do that. I watched a video, or where's this? I watched a video earlier about some woman complaining about living in her car and blaming Trump. And I'll put right to these people. Even Steve Harvey lived in his car. Look at him now. Too many opportunities for people to, if you want to increase your position in life, to do something. Muriel, okay, so somebody's like, Muriel, do you want to go to jail or stand behind me at 10 o'clock tomorrow? No, I think it's more like, Muriel, you want this? I don't know what the Washington mayor gets paid. You guys can look it up. But he may have said, you know what? You want this $200,000 a year position and not have to do anything? What do you mean? I'm going to take over Washington, but we'll let you stay here. And you get to keep your $200,000 and, you don't have to worry about anything. Well, notice what she said. Oh, they're going to cut the grass. They're going to wash the windows. They're going to do the street sweeping. They're going to cook. Who wouldn't want that job? So wait a second. So I understand this, Mr. Trump. I don't have to do anything, and I get paid my normal salary, and you guys are going to take care of everything. Yes. You start looking around for the candid camera. Is that legal? Yes. All right, I'm in. Who wouldn't take that job? Who wouldn't take that deal? You get to keep your salary. You get to keep the name on your door. You're the mayor of Washington. But now you're the mayor of a beautiful city, a safe city, a prospering city, and you don't have to do anything. Just be the figurehead. Just walk around and wave and kiss babies. I'd take that in a heartbeat. I would take that in a heartbeat. Have you triggered a libtard today? Do it for Jesus. Oh, ask her about the pipe bomber. Oh, yeah. Hey, Neo. Yeah, it's my way or the highway. So let's see tomorrow at 10 o'clock what exactly happens and how it happens and how it turns out. So I will put up a banner tomorrow. I'll be going live at 9:30, and then we'll have. It's kind of early for popcorn. It's early, really early in the morning for popcorn, but it's going to be fun. Hey, listen, if you guys would like to, I should have a bunch of them tomorrow. If you want to sign up to send in a video, and if you send that video in, you can go to fanfareshop.org/submit video, and when you click that link or go to that link, you get about a 60-second window to talk. And you don't have to give me any platitudes or applause or anything like that. Got anything on your mind? Not that I have a problem with that. If you like to do that, that's fine. But if anything you'd like to talk about or share with the audience, we'll put you guys up. We're going to be dropping one tomorrow night. Just so you know, some pre-programming. Tomorrow night, when we go to Rumble, it will be another movie night. I got a good one for you. This one is about our Vice President, J.D. Vance. We're going to show Hillbilly Elegy tomorrow night. Hillbilly Elegy, if you haven't seen it, I watched it and screened it, and I'm like, well, interesting choice of actors and actresses, and director. I don't know if you guys know, but Ron Howard directed it, big-time liberal, but maybe they didn't think he'd ever be President Trump's vice president, but nonetheless, Hillbilly Elegy, once we do the jump over tomorrow night. So, with that being said, that's about the housekeeping I have. I will talk to you in about 90 seconds.
It's genius. It's pure genius. America is the country that started the AI race, and as President of the United States,
You have a message.
declare that America is going to win it. We're going to work hard. We're going to win it.
Why do so many financial experts call silver the most undervalued asset today? Because silver is essential to the future, from solar tech and electric vehicles to the explosive growth of artificial intelligence. Demand is rising fast, and yet silver is still trading at a bargain. With billions pouring into AI, silver prices have only one place to go, and that's up. In fact, silver may be the most overlooked asset class in financial planning. The opportunity for silver is well documented. The market for silver could double or even triple by 2026. You see, I believe in hard assets like this bar of silver. You can hold it in your hand, you can put it in your IRA, you can put it in your home safe, and relative to gold, it's very affordable. That's why I urge you to call my friends at Lear Capital and get their free report, The AI Revolution, and see why silver prices could be set to soar. Call 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. But don't wait. We all know. We've seen it. The government can print lots and lots of dollars, but they can't print silver.
So first, this could literally last years because in Texas, I'm authorized to call a special session every 30 days. It lasts 30 days. And as soon as this one is over, I'm going to call another one, then another one, then another one, then another one. If they show back up in the state of Texas, they will be arrested and taken to the Capitol. Now, if they want to evade that arrest, they're going to have to stay outside of the state of Texas for literally years. And they might as well just start voting in California or voting in Illinois, wherever they may be. And that will aid and support the lawsuit that I filed in the Texas Supreme Court saying that these lawmakers have abandoned their seat because we are incapable of conducting business for the people of Texas because they have fled. This is the most un-Texan thing we've ever seen. In Texas, from the time of the Alamo until today, Texas stand and fight. What these cowards did, they didn't stand and fight. They fled and went to leftist blue states that may be more aligned with their personal philosophy that is not welcome in the state of Texas.
Here's how now.
So, as you've seen this whole Texas redistricting thing unfold, you're watching a huge MK Ultra style gaslighting operation by the Democrats. They're trying to convince people that by retreating and fleeing, that they're actually fighting. You have to be next level mind-bending person to try and convince people who don't flee. Texans don't flee. Most people don't have it in their character to turn around, tuck tail, and run. Almost every single person I know, Republican or Democrat, if you push them to a point, they are going to fight you. I have never met anybody who's like, oh, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to wave the white flag and be a complete coward, because that's fighting. But yet that's what they're doing in the media. They're trying to let people know we are actually waging a fight. And you have to imagine there are people right now in this country who think that they are fighting. I've never been able to throw a punch across state lines. If you're in a fight, you stand there, you may get bloodied, but you're in the fight. These people have run. This is the antithesis of what most mindsets are, man or woman, or whatever else you call yourself. Nobody runs. You may retreat if you're getting beat, but you can't say at that point you're bringing a fight to somebody. Not when you're absconded. And so what I didn't like about what Greg Abbott said, and no Texan could like what he just said, was that, yeah, I'm going to keep calling sessions, and it might take years. I'm like, wait a second, bro. You're going to lose a lot of people if this thing goes on for another week or two. You have got to be able to do something stronger, find some loophole in the Texas Constitution, or not. Just do it. Make them come back and fight. They can't fight you if they're not here. So why don't you just go ahead and move forward, redistrict, gavel it in, and do it. What are they going to have to do? They are going to have to come back and fight it. They will have to go to court if they want to sue. So why not just go ahead and do something? Just telling people, yeah, we'll just keep having session after session after session, and then eventually they're going to have to come back. That's not what I want for a leader. I want someone to come out and say, this is what we are going to do. I'm not waiting for them to surrender. I want to beat them into submission. I want to take them to the Supreme Court of Texas and revoke their offices. I want to do everything I possibly can legally to just make these people submit to my will. Calling session after session after session while they're ignoring you isn't fighting and going for the throat. Go. The shoe was on the other foot, they'd be stomping you in the neck. And what you're going to see over the next couple of minutes is them saying just that. What we do is fine. What you do is bad. And when we get back in power, we're going to stomp you out like a roach. So if you heard somebody talking to you like that, I'm going to come back into town and I'm going to kick in your front door and I'm going to take care of business. Are you going to just wait, or are you going to do something about it? Texans, if you're in this chat, or if you guys watch this afterwards, you better get ready for a fight. A real fight, because they're coming for you. And they're trying to get a number of people around the country to do the same. Listen to this witch.
National Review summarized it. They said it was only 3 years ago that New York's Democratic legislature drew up a map so brazenly contemptuous of basic rules that govern a district's contiguousness that the state's Democrat-dominated Court of Appeals threw it out. The New York Times at the time called those maps comically contorted. That's their quote. So your state's highest court at the time, all the judges appointed by Democratic governors, they threw the maps out. So fair to say Democrats have done what they're now accusing Republicans of doing.
No, we followed the rules. We do it every 10 years. We base it on census.
But the court said you didn't follow the rules.
Well, we did follow the rules.
See, it's very hard to talk to Democrats because nothing that comes out of their mouths is true. Shannon's telling her, hey, you didn't follow the... Oh, yeah, I followed the rules. But no, you didn't. That's why you got sued before. That's why the court... That's why even the New York Times said you guys were full of crap. But you're going to see a couple people here, and they just contort themselves into complete lies. Over and over and over again.
Wrong?
Well, we followed the rules.
Many members, because they have children on their insurance, actually owe the state money, right? So there's no paycheck, there's no even income from that. I haven't earned a paycheck in 8 months. And that's not a woe is me kind of thing. It's just reality. That's a choice I made to sacrifice to be a caucus leader and do all these things and lead us. But there's other members who, I mean, they have like a week's worth of cushion, just like regular Americans.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I had a family, which I do, and I said, Robin, I'm not liking this whole YouTube thing. I do not like how they censor certain words. I'm just not going to make any more videos. Oh, that's fine. No worry, honey. That's what you want to do. I just have one question. What you going to do for work? Huh? That's what's happening right now. These people are sitting back and going, yeah, I'm sitting in this hotel and I'm not making any money and I got a family. What spouse is looking at these people going, well, you don't have any choice but to get your butt back home. If they can cut off the money, these people can't exist sitting in hotel rooms and having speeches and everything. May not be able to fly home, may not have enough money. You got people like Beto O'Rourke who decided he steps in. He's using his money that he raised from God knows where, and he's starting to feed these people. But at this point, they're like babies. I can't eat, but I'm complaining. You poop your pants, and now you want somebody else to clean it up. Your diaper is full of crap, and you don't even have the wherewithal to get new diapers. And you're complaining, we don't have any money. Tough shit, go to work. Go home.
And everything that people are doing helps. People's contributions help, but that contribution can't go to our personal incomes. That money can only be used for this. So
that's a twist. I didn't know that. Good. So now the FBI can see if anybody takes any of that money to go to Hardee's or Burger King and get something to eat. You can pay for the hotel, you can pay for the flight, but that's it. So I hope people have these people under a microscope and they're waiting to see if you get DoorDash to the hotel. I don't know. Tell me what you're doing, how you're living, how you're cleaning your clothes. You guys are all up there. You packed your bags with everything. You're doing laundry in a hotel, putting coins in. What are you doing? You look stupid at this point.
We can't fight this fight forever. What we need is Americans to stand up. We're buying time for Texans to wake up. We're buying time for Americans to gear up, to not only deal with Texas, but deal with this in every other state. Because...
So you're asking people in other states to fight for Texas. What's in it for me? I'm in Florida. Why do I care what you guys are doing? I want this thing to be done the way you've been doing it to other people. I'm pretty happy with what Ron DeSantis is doing down here. I don't know how you guys feel, but you're telling me the only way you can keep fighting is if somebody else supports your fight? Then you don't have anything. You guys are toast. Completely. Nothing left.
If this is allowed to happen, if people who lie, cheat, and steal are allowed to win the day, that is the end of our country. That is...
If people who cheat, lie, and steal. You don't want to go there, do you, bro? Seriously? Do you really want to go there? After everything we've been through for the last 8 years, after what's being uncovered on a daily basis with all this stuff with Obama and the Clintons, you really want to go there? You want to call us thieves? You seriously want to call us corrupt? Is that where you're going? That's not going to end well for you. Not at all.
End of everything we believe in. Because our nation has always been about hard work and fair play. That it doesn't matter what your last name is. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter who you were born to, or it shouldn't. And everyone who...
Whoa. How did you mention that in the same vein of it shouldn't matter who you're born to? That's the essence of America. That is specifically those people who are citizens. That's who you represent. Shouldn't matter where you're born here or not. What do you mean? I don't think you pledge an oath to, hey, I'm here because, you know, I'm for the newcomers. That's who we're here for. No, like I said, you're seeing an epic level gaslighting campaign. I mean, beyond epic. This is MK Ultra stuff.
It's hard and follows the rules, we'll get ahead. If you believe in that, if you want that back, do something. Get off your ass, right?
No, not right. I'm looking at a Democrat politician who's not doing anything, telling you to get off your ass and do something. Excuse me, sir. Yeah. You're telling us we need to do something? Why aren't you working? Why aren't you actually, quote, doing something? See, I'm telling you, the next 4 or 5 minutes here, you are going to see epic gaslighting. And it unfortunately works on some people. People who aren't astute enough to know, is this guy serious? See, I trust you're serious. I trust that you're watching this going, what in the hell are you talking about? You're telling us to get off our asses and come help you. Well, you won't even help yourself. You just told us your family can't eat. You haven't gotten money in 8 months, which I have no idea why. But you're telling it's on us. That make any sense to any of you guys? When I put this together, I'm like, this guy, wow.
This is our last shot in saving the American dream. And I, for one, I'm not ready to let the American dream die without a real good fight. But we need everybody to stand up and fight.
Let me ask.
Whose American dream isn't being realized? Who doesn't have access to the American dream? I would love to debate these people and go, so tell me you don't want to see the American dream die. No, I don't want to see it die either, but how would it die? What exactly, in regards to what you're going through in Texas, is going to cause me in Florida, or Joe in Georgia, or Sheila in North Carolina? How are all of our American dreams going to turn into nightmares? But see, that's what they're doing. And I'm proving to you right now, this gaslighting is real deep. Listen to this guy, of all people.
How can gerrymandering both be a threat to democracy and also the way to save it?
Okay, so she's asking, that's Eric Holder, because they were gerrymandering queens and kings. Oh, this is fantastic. This is how we save democracy. We shut out all the Republicans. Okay. Now the Republicans are doing it back to you. Oh, that's wrong. You can't do that. And she's asking him a very valid question. How was it okay here, but not okay here? Very easy question. Very easy.
Question: the gerrymandering is a threat to our democracy. It allows politicians to pick their voters as opposed to citizens choosing their representatives. But we are now in a situation where we find ourselves where authoritarian moves are being made by the White House through various states, Texas most prominent among them, and there has to be a response to that. What I've said is that we have to protect our democracy now if we ultimately want to be able to save it. And so taking the reasonable steps that have been proposed in California, I think it makes a great deal of sense in this moment.
So it's okay for California to go ahead and do whatever redistricting they need to do, because that's saving democracy. But if Texas does it, oh no, not Texas, not white people. None of this makes any sense. And even I will give Kristen Welker a bit of a head nod of the head here. Even she's like, who are you talking to? Anyone with a brain is going, you're doing mental gymnastics. Everybody can see it. But they can't answer it because it's not important to answer. The only importance right now is to make sure people who are weak-minded somehow get the opinion that it's okay for Democrats to do this, which it is. You see, to them, it doesn't matter what you do to stop Trump, up into including putting a bullet in his head. They don't have a problem with it. He might as well just come out and say it. But this is Trump. We got to do whatever we can do. We got to save the world. We got to call on the Avengers and Spider-Man and everybody else because Trump bad. And because Trump's bad, we can do anything. We have to do everything. That's exactly what these people are saying. And that's what makes them so dangerous because they keep saying it over and over. We got to save democracy. And every one of you 77 or 80 million people who voted for Donald Trump are like, well, what do you mean? We just voted. Democracy seemed to work pretty good. But they're not talking to you. And they're not even talking to Christian Welker anymore because she even says, this doesn't make any sense, bro. That's how far they've gone at this point, is that the people in the media can't even understand what the hell you people are talking about. I'm going to show you a couple more pieces, the same thing. Whether it's Shannon on Fox or Christian Welker on MSNBC, they're like, but, what are you talking about, bro? It doesn't make any sense. So smart people who aren't fully under the, if you're not being gaslit, this doesn't make any sense to you. So I wonder what percentage of the population have they really put into this grinder of taking people's brains and just run them through a grinder? How many? What number? What percentage of the United States population have gone fully Rosie O'Donnell? Where everything, Keith Olbermann, just completely stop everything, must stop Trump. Because that's who they're talking to. Get out in the street, do whatever you need to do, burn. We need to stop Trump and MAGA. Instead of just saying, well, you lost the election. Get ready for the next one. Nope. No, they want to rile up the crazies.
Way in which to respond to that which is happening in Texas, with the thought that after this crisis is passed, we get back to the fight against gerrymandering by anybody.
After this time, okay? When we're done screwing with Texas, then we make sure nobody else can do it. Now listen to this nut. This nut. Beto O'Rourke, I don't know what stone he moved and popped up again, but Beto's out here talking to Mr. Light and the Loafers here. Listen to this.
And I just think it's super clear that Republicans care about power and nothing else. And for far too long, Democrats have cared about being right, coloring within the lines, following rules, and power has always been a secondary consideration. We need to absolutely...
I'm telling you. If you guys haven't seen these clips, you're like, what in the hell are they talking about? And they're hoping, obviously, that there's people out there who go, yeah, it's the Republicans. All they care about is power. And they will do anything. And we do everything right. What? No sane person. And at this point, you have to begin thinking, if you're a Democrat, can these people be sane? If you have Democrat friends who are into this, you have to start looking at them and saying, are you okay? Something's not right. You believe this stuff? Where even people in the news are starting to furrow their brow? Like, what do you mean? This is the party of helping people. This is the party of doing things the right way, the legal way. What? But that's what they're saying. And it's over and over and over. So that tells me it's a message. When you start hearing the same thing over again, they're not just being repetitive for no reason. This is the message they have decided to put out. They're saving the world from Trump.
Governor Newsom in California, Governor Pritzker in Illinois, even Governor Hochul in New York, they're talking about seizing the initiative and redrawing their congressional boundaries to maximize Democratic Party advantage. We got to fight fire with fire. I mean, we wish the refs were going to call the fouls, that there were going to be penalties for what they are doing right now, but the refs have left the arena.
Yeah, they're or corrupted.
And to fight this out and to win, we got to be focused on it.
A few moments later.
They're not going to let him stop us. Are you with me on that?
All right, so I'm going to play this There's a few spicy words here. So if you're of the affliction that, oh my God, my virgin ears can't hear something, then maybe you might want to skip the next 30 seconds. But it's important to hear it because he just said on MSNBC that we are the good party. We are the party that wants to follow the rules. He literally just said that to Mutt and Jeff with the Jerry curl. He just said it. You heard him. Yeah, we're the party that fights within the lines. We color within the lines, and we stay within the rules. We do what's nice because we're good people. Here's Mr. Good People. Listen to this.
It also means, as Mark was saying earlier, we don't await the punch thrown by these would-be fascists to land. We punch first, and we punch harder. We want California and New Jersey and Illinois and Maryland and every other state where the Democrats hold the governor's mansion, the assembly, and the state senate to redraw their congressional districts now, not wait for Texas to move first, to maximize Democratic Party advantage. Listen, you may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it...
But you just said we're the party that follows the rules. We're the party that do things the way it's supposed to. All they care about is power. And I'm thinking to myself, am I the only one saying this crap? People, be concerned. What they're doing now is way beyond politics. This is mind-bending crap of an epic scale. That's why some of you right now are like, this doesn't make any sense at all. No, it doesn't, because your mind works. But the people in the audience, yeah, tell them, like, but he literally just said, we're the people who follow the rules. And emphatically, he just said, F the rules.
Those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can.
F the rules.
F the rules. We're going to do whatever it takes. That doesn't sound to me like a bunch of people that want to color within the lines. That sounds to me like someone who doesn't care what they do. They have to get power. They have to keep power. So he went on MSNBC and completely lied, then stood on this stage and said what he really feels. But that part probably didn't get shown on MSNBC because of the F-bombs. But he wasn't done.
Next time we win power, we're going to drive that car like we stole it. We're going to legalize every dreamer's parents, every hardworking American doing backbreaking work that makes this country so goddamn great in the first place. Even
I don't know, maybe it's me, but did he just say a little while ago we're the party that stays within the rules? I'm pretty sure that's what he just said. We are the party that stays within the rules. Then goes on stage and says, F the rules. We're going to do whatever we have to do, whatever we can. We're going to legalize everything. We're going to change everything. We're going to bring in the newcomers, as many as we possibly can, and emphatically break the rules. How can this person be the same person? How can the same audience have seen both of those tapes and not question themselves going, am I being gaslit? Come on, seriously. Are you trying to just do some kind of Vulcan mind meld to me at this point? You can't be that stupid. You can't be that far enamored with a political party for someone to stand in front of you and tell you, F the rules. Let me ask you a question. If President Trump got on a podium tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning and he walked out there and they said, well, President Trump, you can't do this or do that. And President Trump said in the microphone, F the rules. I don't care. We're going to do whatever we want to make sure we get this done. What would happen? it would be running on a loop 24/7 on every single channel. So, with that being said, have you seen what he just said on a loop 24/7? Have you just have you seen what he just said on Fox on a loop? Have you seen what he just said on podcasts on a loop? This man just told you your way of life, I don't give a F. I'm going to do whatever I can to screw you, America. And was happy about it. Was jumping up and down. Here, listen to what he says again, because this is amazing.
Where the Democrats hold the governor's mansion, the assembly, and the state senate to redraw their congressional districts now, not wait for Texas to move first, to maximize Democratic Party advantage. Listen, you may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can. Next time we win power, we're going to drive that car like we stole it. We're going to legalize every dreamer's parents, every hardworking American doing backbreaking work that makes this country so goddamn great in the first place, even greater as U.S. citizens.
Look,
you need to be concerned. You watching this video now understand, or should now understand, these people don't want to see America the way you want to see America. In fact, they don't want to see America at all. When we get back in power, God forbid, when we get back in power, we're changing everything. You mean the taxes? We're going to have to pay more taxes? You're going to have to pay more taxes. We're going to let everybody in here. Everything you're seeing Trump do right now, they're like, nope, we're going to change everything. F it. And we still have people who are so-called influencers who aren't paying attention. I saw a post yesterday where Mark Levin and Marjorie Taylor Greene are on. I'm like, you're adults, man. Pick up the damn phone. Stop it. This is much more important. They're trying to take your country from you. And people are focusing on the stupidest crap out there. And these people are regrouping. They're getting stronger. This tumor is going to grow and fester if you don't stomp it out. Take it seriously. Look, here's Christian. Now she's talking to, what's his name? Pritzker from Illinois. I want you to pay real attention. When I show you these things, oftentimes I stop, but this one is pretty quick. It's only like 45 seconds. Pay attention to the question and then listen to the answer. Pay attention to the question and then listen to the answer.
Sticking on your state's map, every major group that grades the fairness of congressional maps gives your state an F. Common Cause, a nonpartisan government watchdog, even says your map, and I'm going to quote, represents a nearly perfect model for everything that can go wrong with redistricting. And I guess the question is, you talk about preserving democracy. How do you preserve democracy if you're using the same tactics that you've criticized Texas Republicans for?
But as I say, what they're talking about is a distraction. The reality is that the violation of people's voting rights is what Texas is attempting to do. That's what's wrong with their efforts right now. And the fact that the president of the United States knows it and nevertheless is asking them to do it. That is what's wrong with what we're seeing right now. Democracy is at stake, and these Texas Democrats are standing up to what the GOP is attempting to do, which is to steal seats because they know what they've done is wrong. They know that they've made an enormous mistake.
Yes.
He never answered her question. He never answered her question. She asked him point blank, hey, listen, your own watchdogs, the people who are Democrats have looked at what you do, and as they've looked at what you do, they're saying everything you did is a guidebook, a map on everything wrong. So how can you be saying you're okay with it now when you're doing the exact same thing? Which any person with a brain would say, okay, what's your answer here, sir? And his answer pretty much was, but they're Republicans. Listen again.
map, every major group that grades the fairness of congressional maps gives your state an F. Common Cause, a nonpartisan government watchdog, even says your map, and I'm going to quote, represents a nearly perfect model for everything that can go wrong with redistricting. And I guess the question is, you talk about preserving democracy. How do you preserve democracy if you're using the same tactics that you've criticized Texas Republicans for?
See, I don't know what got into Kristen Welker's cereal this morning, but she decided when she was going to go on television, she was going to go ask these people the pointed questions. Because she has a brain. We may not like her liberal brain, but you're insulting her. You're insulting people to their face, which is a bad mistake to the media. Because she asked you a question, and you basically spit at her. So this doesn't make any sense. How are you doing this? And he comes back, it's a distraction. Wait, what the hell are you talking about? And Trump or something. So now you've seen a number of different people, as I've been showing you on this video, and the message is clear. The messaging right now could not be clearer. And you have to wonder who they're trying to reach.
But as I say, what they're talking about is a distraction. The reality is that the violation of people's voting rights is what Texas is attempting to do. That's what's wrong with their efforts right now. And the fact that the president of the United States knows it and nevertheless is asking them to do it. That is what's wrong with what we're seeing right now. Democracy is at stake, and these Texas Democrats are standing up to what the GOP is attempting to do, which is to steal seats because they know what they've done is wrong. They know that they've made an enormous mistake.
Yes, it scares me when I look in people's faces when they can lie so easily. Can look into a camera. First of all, I don't know how somebody asks you a question and you completely ignore what they ask you. Hey, Barry, where'd you get that hat? Well, hats, it doesn't really matter where they come from as long as they're good and they're warm. I can't even do it. But they're so polished in lying, so polished in avoiding the question and stick right to their message. Hey, Barry, how'd you get that hat? Well, if I didn't wear this hat, democracy would fail. And democracy is at risk. That's all they must be told. Hey, listen, no matter what they ask you, no matter how they ask you, no matter how many times they ask you, this is the only thing I want coming out of your fat face. That's it. Nothing else. This is your message. Stay on point and do what you're told. Somebody's pulling these strings. Somebody has told them, okay, here's our strategy. We are going to go on every television show we possibly can, and we're all going to say the exact same thing. But oh crap, Beto got up on a stage and completely blew it. So I don't think Beto was supposed to say that, especially after he went on MSNBC and he was heralding the Democrats as the people of goodness. And then minutes later, go on a stage and go, F them all, burn it down. I'm pretty sure they're sitting back going, what did Beto do? Okay, here's what we have to do. Make sure nobody sees what Beto did. Try take it down. Take the videos down before Barry and his friends start passing this stuff around. So it's like looking at, you've seen the people, hey, who are you texting to, honey? And why do you got your broad panties on? Oh, you weren't supposed to see that. Just keep going. I can't believe you looked at my phone. That's essentially what Beto's doing right now. It's like, oh, you guys weren't supposed to see that part. Shh, hey, why are you passing around that part? Why don't you pass around the part from MSNBC? No, I'd rather put them both together so everybody can see you're a complete idiot. You have to fight this. Not like the Democrats. You can't run from it. You can't look the other way. You need to spread this stuff because there are a lot of people who see bits and pieces and don't put it together. They may see Beto on MSNBC and he says, hey, he's a nice guy, he's fine, and he just wants to do the right thing. And they don't see the other piece where he's telling you to F off, we're going to do anything we want. And so I try to pride myself by showing you a story where you can see exactly what people are doing, because they will tell you what they're all about, and then it's on you to believe them. And that's the problem with too many people. They don't understand, and they don't look at the right stuff, and then all of a sudden they're talking about Epstein. But luckily, it sounds like the Trump administration is on board.
Another crazy thing that I had no idea about, but everybody, even Democrats actually admit this, that the census in 2020 had a major statistical error. And what that meant is that you actually undercounted a few states that are Republican, like Florida and Ohio. You overcounted some blue states. And so what I understand, if you actually did the census anew right now, you would have 10 additional Republican seats and 9 fewer Democrat seats. And really what we're living with, Maria, is the consequence of 40 years of institutional control of the Democratic Party. These guys have fought very dirty for a very long time, and they haven't just won elections and enacted laws that we may not agree with. They have tried to rig the game for Democrats and against Republicans, and thankfully, under President Trump's leadership, you finally see some spine. You finally see some backbone in the Republican Party to fight back against these very aggressive...
Yes, we are, but it's not enough. I am tired of going on X and seeing these limp-wristed idiots who are talking about everything except for the fight in front of them. I am so tired of people talking about Epstein. While you're over here bickering about Epstein, they're out here trying to kick your butt and put your face in it. While you're over here talking about, I don't know, Mark Levin and Marjorie Taylor Greene, these people are working to destroy us. While you're over here because whatever reason, Jasmine, I don't give a shit about Jasmine Crockett. These people are trying to destroy you. This is what they want to do. And it's going to take a rallying cry, like Vice President J.D. Vance is saying right now, and to tell you, you need to grow a pair. And if you're a woman, make your spine, make your shoulders go back. It's time to stop taking it. And it's also time for us to stop taking it from each other. You know, I talk to you about football a lot because I've been in so many huddles and stuff, and if I ever got into a huddle, or even during practices, some kid is whining, they don't throw the ball to me. And, if they threw the ball to me, we do grab him by his face mask and say, you either shut up or get off the field. And I feel like doing that so often right now. I feel like reaching into X and grabbing people and go, can you shut the hell up and start understanding you have an audience? You need to give your audience a shot of vitamin E and tell them, get in the fight. Don't come November 2026 or 2028 and go, yeah, but I was worried about Epstein. The president is out there on a Sunday telling you, hey, tomorrow, Monday morning, I'm going to be doing some more butt kicking. And we have people talking about the craziest stuff out there. And J.D. Vance knows it.
Democratic dirty tricks, but the only way for us to do it is to actually go and do the hard work to reset the scales a little bit. What we want to do is redo the census, but importantly, we want to redistrict some of these red states, and we want to make the congressional apportionment fair in this country. Again, you cannot do it unless Republicans actually take some very decisive action in the months to come. We think they will, and we're obviously supporting them every step of the way.
But do you worry that as Republicans do that, the Democrat blue states are going to do the same thing, and then you'll have redistricting in California, New Jersey, and so on?
There's just not a whole lot of juice left out of that lemon. The Democrats have already gone as far as they possibly can.
That's a great point for people to understand. And that's why this fight in Texas is so important. Yeah, Gavin Newsom is trying to do something to offset Texas, but New York, Illinois, these blue states, they have gerrymandered so much, they're already at 11. If you guys ever saw Spinal Tap, you know that reference. What number do you want it to go? I want it at 11. Because, things go from 1 to 10. They're already at 11. They don't have any more room to go. And so, J.D. Vance, President Trump, the Trump administration knows, we got you. We are telling people in these red states to grow a pair and take the fight to them and choke the life out of them. just like they did to you. Massachusetts, I think I said Trump won 35% of the vote in Massachusetts. They have 0 Republican people in the House. 0. They went to 11 and they choked out the Republicans. And you can go to state after state after state and you will see, well, hey man, we won 40%. Sorry, you didn't win enough, so we're going to redistrict and we're going to get rid of you. Okay, well then why don't we do the same thing? And J.D. Vance he's flying around, he's meeting with these governors. He went to Indiana. Hey, take it to them. Shut them out. Get rid of them. And it amazes me that they have to be taught this. They have to be taught how to fight. How did the Democrats learn? Was this not done years ago? Why is it 2025 and they're just saying, well, we can just redraw the lines? Yes. And if we do that, we can like really kick their butts? Yes. I don't know if I want to do that. They might get mad at me. Seriously. Think about that. The only reason you wouldn't do it is because you like being a part of the Washington Generals. Washington Generals is that team that always loses to the Harlem Globetrotters. You just want to go to the cocktail party. You want to get invited to the golf course. And so you're not interested in choking the life out of your opponent. Right now, and I've said this many a times, Donald Trump can put his foot on the proverbial neck of the Democrat Party, and the only thing stopping him is Republicans. Not you, because you voted for him. It's the Republicans, and you've seen some of these people, you know, the Mitch McConnells, the Lisa Murkowskis, the Susan Collins, but we can't do that to them. They're nice people. Like Beto said, F them people. If you want to win, be a winner. If you want to win, do what it takes to win. Stop playing a role. And that does go for all of us.
Easy statistics. So I believe that it's in New Jersey, Illinois, New York, California, and there's one other Democrat state where you take those 5 states, you have a large number of Democrat representatives. But here's the crazy statistic. President Trump won 43% of those 5 states, and Democrats have something like 85% of the representatives out of those states. You cannot gerrymander these far left states anymore, and that's the whole point. We have unilaterally disarmed in the Republican Party. We have said to the Democrats, if you want to rig the game in your favor in blue states, go ahead. We're going to do nothing to fight back against it. That's crazy. It makes it.
He's so right. That's crazy. Why did you people lay down as you watched California and Massachusetts and Connecticut and over in Illinois, as you watched them, New York, as you watched them turn it up to 11 against you? You just sat there as a Republican politician and went, please, please hit me some more, spank me harder. And now, see, this is the other problem, because now people like you are like, yeah, why didn't we fight back? Why is J.D. Vance on a revenge tour trying to tell these people, you know, you can kick some butt here? Why are we having to explain to people on X, you know, we can choke the life out of these guys? But no, there's no but. This is a winner-take-all situation. There is no tomorrow. Listen to what Beto said. If we get back in power, we're doing it all. You cannot reason with these people. You cannot talk to them. They are never coming back. You see it all the time on X. Oh, great. They got purple hair and nose rings and mustaches, and it's a girl. They're gone. They're too far gone. This is exterminate. We need to exterminate them. I don't mean physically. I mean politically. This is an extinction level event for the Democrats. They know it. Republicans don't know it. That's what the problem is. Our Republican brethren aren't ready to call it a day with these people. But they're doing it for you. They will do it to you.
Harder for us to pass our agenda. It makes it harder for us to win elections. And most importantly, it gives Democrats this ability to run roughshod over the country without any pushback from the American people. The democratic system in this country is broken because who you vote for doesn't necessarily get reflected in who your representatives are. We're just trying to rebalance the scales and frankly push back against a very unfair system created by the Democrats.
How many of you knew that before all this began? How many of you knew that the Democrats had been doing this in the state that you live? I went up to Connecticut. I met with BLS Doom Crew, one of the guys here in our chat often. And, he texts me and he's like, I didn't know Connecticut was this bad. A lot of people don't know that they've gerrymandered to 11. They don't know. They don't realize it. You have to ask yourself, why don't they realize it? Why do people not understand what the Democrats have done? In the states that you live, did you know that they took, all these people and made it just so it would be Democrats only? It's not something they broadcast, they just did it. And so now, J.D. Vance and Trump are like, well, let's do it back to them. And they're losing their ever-loving minds. And they're counting. They're counting on Republicans being limp-wristed. That's how bad it is. And we got to stand up. It is what it is. All right, so let me tell you guys about this new knife from Patriot Addict. I have loved it, and some of you guys haven't, but I'm going to. And the police now have been called in for Dildo Gate. And it's made the broadcast networks on CNN. Dildo Gate. We're going to have a panel and talk about this, okay? Let's get the group together and talk about the dildos on the court. At which point, if I was on that panel, like, hey, listen, what are we covering today? We're going to cover Texas, got it. We're also going to cover, maybe an NFL story, got it. And we're going to cover dildos in the WNBA.
Huh?
What? How do you want me to talk about that? Well, tell us what you think about the dildos in the WNBA. You must have really, really, really had to work to find people to get on this panel.
Rite of passage that every league experiences something like this. What is going on? What is this? Donald Trump Jr. posted to Instagram. Did you see this with the president? I mean, obviously it's mean, but it's the president throwing one off.
Only CNN, maybe MSNBC, but only CNN can find somehow to align the WNBA dildo story with Donald Trump. Oh, only CNN. They don't like Sydney Sweeney. They hate the sorority girls out there prancing and dancing. And now we're going to get all upset and get our panties up in a bulge because of Dildo Gate. These people have lost it. This shouldn't even be on a television show. They made it news. I didn't make it news. I wasn't going to talk about it. It made CNN. Did you notice there's one guy in the panel? He's like, I ain't touching this one. I don't know what y'all going to talk about.
The White House roof there onto the WNBA. Yeah. Well, that says everything we need to know about Donald Trump Jr. What is he, in his 50s? What is he? Donald Trump posted that? Donald Trump Jr. Yeah, 52, whatever, how old he is. No comment. Toddlerman, is that the word? Well, I guess that's memes that came from President Trump going on the roof, by the way.
That toxic masculinity. What are we going to do about this toxic masculinity? He's 52. He shouldn't think like a guy anymore. Ladies, let me just tell you, the guy sitting next to you is laughing his ass off about Dildo Gate. He may not laugh in front of you. Oh, honey, it's awful. These WNBA women shouldn't. They're athletes, professional athletes. They shouldn't be subject to this. And when you walk out the room, he's like, "Oh my God, throw more! I've got money on purple, and I want the big giant one to show up." But I can tell you, even my wife laughed, and she goes, "Are they really throwing, honey? Are they really throwing dildos on the court?" Yeah. He busts out laughing. It is so appropriate for this dog crap league that does so many stupid things, and now they've made it so much bigger than it needed to be. This might have been a story they just should have shut up. They should have just like swept it off the court and brought out the tongs and picked it up and ran away with it and make sure it didn't land in any of their locker rooms, if you know what I mean. So with that being said, we're over Dildogate. No more stories on Dildogate. I promise. We're done.
9.
All right, Fox News Alert now as we take a look at the markets with just a couple hours left in trading. The Dow is up 223 points. This says JP Morgan is now forecasting an interest rate cut in September and 4 more by the end of the year. Okay, so markets are taking all of this in. In the meantime, Charles Payne is here to make sense of this. Charles Payne.
All right, let me make sense of it for you before Charles talks to you. Get ready. I would be remiss if I didn't keep telling you, get ready. You are seeing an opportunity here that many of us have never seen before. We've never seen things get telegraphed the way they're being telegraphed right now. You are being told, hey, listen, here's where things are going. That puck, you better hold on to your britches over the next 3 or 4 months. As we get into the holiday season, oh, it's going to be fun. There may be four interest drops before the end of the year. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Making money,
yeah,
because people are looking to make money in this environment, and it seems, even when we ran our very unscientific poll on our show Twitter account, what is most concerning to you right now? Is it prices? Is it employment? Overwhelming majority said it's interest rates coming down. So do you believe that this is the case, that we're going to see several cuts by the end of the year?
Absolutely. Everything changed Friday morning at 8:30 when those job numbers came down and those revisions came down, because right at that point, the consensus was September, there's maybe a 40-30% chance of a rate cut. Overwhelmingly, everyone sees that. Now, you talk about 4, that means there's going to be at least 150 basis point cut. That starts to add a sense of urgency. That really tells you, by the way, if the Fed has to do that, that will really be so damning for Jay Powell, because his position, anytime you have to do more than 25 basis points, it means that they're behind, right? It was sort of...
All right, so let me, in case you don't know what a basis point is, 25 basis points, 50 basis points, 75 basis points. That is the percent that they're going to cut it. So if you cut by 50 basis points, you're cutting 0.5% off the prime rate. So if whatever the prime rate is today, I'm not sure, I'd have to check, but 50 basis points basically means 0.5 point. So if you who may be looking to buy a house, this fall or whatever, and you can find out now that, wow, interest rates might be 0.5 point cheaper, or they may be 0.75 point cheaper, or they may be a full point cheaper. That's what you now have to keep your eye on. Everybody's talking about how there's so much of an abundance of inventory in the real estate market. You better get yours under whatever you're looking to do, because if they do 4 cuts, if they drop 1 point or 1.25 points over the next 4 months, Trump has told you. What'd he tell you? Rocket ship. And in coordination with his rocket ship, I showed you this yesterday. Understand what he's saying there. November 25th. Don't know if it's going to happen or not, but he teased it. The Great American Mortgage Corporation. That could be huge.
The notion that, Jay Powell was late yet again. And to your point, why do so many people care? This is what makes me so angry with the Federal Reserve. They always look at us as a whole nation. Small businesses, we have to refinance under these higher rates this year. Many can't do it. They can't make payroll, so you have small businesses that are hurting. You have individuals that are hurting. We just got a couple days ago from the New York Fed delinquency rates. All of them are spiking. So it's one of these things that Main Street America needs, and now you're seeing more evidence in the labor market, which is one of their key jobs, of course, for the Federal Reserve.
All right, so you now have that information. You have all that in front of you. You cannot be caught by surprise. You know it's coming. We don't know how much. We don't know the exact days, but we know for sure that it's coming. There's no doubt. Everybody knows it, including President Trump. And I can't wait till he explains this. What the heck does that mean? Is it like Oprah? You get a mortgage and you get a mortgage. I don't know. I know what it would do if he did that. If he put the Great American Mortgage Corporation on the stock exchange, it would pretty much end the Fed. They no longer would be controlling interest rates. The Great American Mortgage Company. It would be absolutely massive.
Number 8.
Well, I can tell you what the president clearly said to me was, and this is contrary to what you hear a lot of people say, that well, the president wants to get rid of education. Well, clearly that is not the case. What the president wants to do is to get the bureaucracy out of education. I mean, the fact that we have to spend over 50 cents of every dollar that goes to a school for regulatory compliance is just ridiculous. Yeah. That money should be going to kids. It should be going to schools. It should be putting into teachers' pay. So what the president wants to do is to get rid of the bureaucracy. I think actually he would like to see the doors closed and all of the aspects of the Department of Education into other agencies or those that are not necessary, to be abolished. And I think that is the right way to look at it. I think we're going to have much better education in our country by returning it to the states, where governors, where state superintendents, where parents and teachers will have more involvement in teaching our students. And if we look at where our scores are today in the national report card called the NAEP scores,
yes,
when 30% of 8th graders are proficient in reading, and that means 70% are not.
Can you imagine that? 70% of 8th graders across the country can't flip and read. How can Democrats be okay with that? Well, that's an easy answer. They want them stupid. They want them to be wards of the state. They need them to be dependent upon the government. 70% of 8th graders can't read at a proficiency level. That means they're not going to be working at a job that's going to help them, which means they're going to perpetuate that on to their children, which means it lowers the entire societal production. And yet this is what they want. And they never talk about, you're going to take away, just school books. And no. The states will take care of that. What do we need you in Washington taking care of the Department of Education? I went to private schools. Many of you went to private schools. Somehow our schools did it. And I would love to see the public schools have the same opportunity that the private schools have. I would love to see that parents can look at the public schools and say, that school's crap. I'm going to use a voucher. I'm going to put them over here. You want people to have opportunity? You want people to not feel like there's entitlement or privilege? Well, this is a great way to do it. Take those people who can't read and put them in schools that'll actually help them read. If there's a privilege to going to a private school, then why would you complain if that equity that you seek is done? Why couldn't anybody go to whatever school they need? There may be a school that's better if you're in terms of mechanical versus a school here that's going to help you with being a lawyer. Why can't you just go to the school that's best for you? Why wouldn't you want to let other people have that privilege, that opportunity? Because everything you say is about, hey, we don't get any privilege, just white privilege. Well, how about if they're sprinkling that white privilege all around? Why is it bad, and why are you fighting it? Because that's what you say you want. You don't make any sense. I want every kid to be able to go to the school they want to. I want every kid to read at a proficient level, because the more proficient the population is in terms of reading and math and everything else, the more prosperous the country becomes, because we're not carrying so much dead weight, which is what the Democrats want.
It's an incredibly unacceptable statistic in our country.
Yeah.
I hope you guys see that. I hope you guys understand what I was just trying to relay there, is that is a privilege that doesn't need to be a privilege. I never understood it. I mean, luckily my dad worked hard enough where, I went to a private school. But I used to wonder, well, why can't they go? And it never got explained to me back then. Well, they can't go because their parents couldn't afford it. So they have to stay stupid because the teachers where they are want them to stay stupid. And trust me, there were some very, very good teachers, even in the public school system. Some teachers that would work and do yeoman work to try and help people overcome. But if your parental unit not helping you, it's extra hard. See, it goes all the way back to culturing. If there's no dad in the house, or dad doesn't care, and mom's, eating bonbons and watching old Jerry Springer reruns, then the kid is just going to end up clocking on the street or something, or being around people who he shouldn't be around, and then they just become evolutionary deadbeats. Let them enjoy some privilege. What do you think will happen if certain populations of the inner city have the opportunity that everybody else has? That's a Democrat's worst nightmare. Yeah.
7. Reapportion everything right now? What's he doing? Well, he certainly wants to do the census in a way that doesn't count illegal aliens as part of the overall population for the purpose of determining congressional districts and federal funding. And I think he's going to have a lot of popular support for it. Now, I know there's a process they have to go through, and it would take a long time to do a census, but there is a widespread belief that Democrats want to keep the system in place that they have because it advantages them. I know that that's what they believe because a Democratic congresswoman from New York, Clark, the other day said out loud, I want more migrants in my district for redistricting purposes. And so it's a political strategy of the Democrats. And I think the president is saying to the American people, why are we counting illegal aliens, unauthorized residents in this country when it comes to apportioning our political leadership?
It's because it's in the Constitution. Yeah. The United States Constitution. The Supreme Court ruled on this in 2019, and they ruled against Trump 5-4. It's in the Constitution. I have a big problem.
No, it's not. Okay, so let's look at what she's talking about. What she's looking right there, this is the 14th Amendment, number 2, section 2. It says, representation shall be apportioned amongst several states, if I can see this, according to clear respective members, censuring the whole member of person in each state, excluding Indians, and what is the other one? Whatever. They don't understand that was for black people who were slaves. It wasn't about people just to show up in the country and everybody gets representation. So when they say it's in the Constitution, there wasn't newcomers back then. So you're lying to the American people by saying that the founders, when they drafted this, hey, it's for everybody, no matter where. No. Back then when that was drawn up, it was like, what do we do about these people who used to be slaves? There wasn't a whole bunch of people from Mexico and Honduras. It was, what do we need to do here? The part that really you should focus on is the part where it says here, an amendment. It's an amendment. So the Constitution was already there, and then it came a problem. It's like, hey man, we got all these black people, and we brought them here. And we made them slaves. And now they're not slaves anymore. What do we do about that? Because the Constitution said X, Y, and Z. Well, we need to make an amendment. Okay, what's the amendment? We're going to go ahead and do Section 2 so these black people here can be considered, as citizens and get some representation. Because after all, we're the ones who brought them here. They weren't talking about the millions of people who came across the border. And Democrats won't accept that. They think that letter as it's written was the interpretation of it. And so it's going to get stricken down, and it's pretty simple to see because none of us were back there when Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin and everybody else was writing this stuff, but you pretty much could tell, hey, were there boats load of people coming here? No. Were the people climbing over the walls to get here? No. So what people were they talking about that weren't citizens, the black people? Oh, the slaves. The slaves that we brought here, now we got to deal with it, which is completely different.
Regardless of whether it's gerrymandering, which both parties do, or this attempt at changing the way we count the number of living residents in the United States, because it's all about cheating. It's all about rigging the system in a way that gives one party an advantage. Family members in my household who are undocumented, and the census person shows up to take account, I'm not opening the door. So the census is going to be real messed up if the Supreme Court, which I don't know how the Supreme Court's going to rule. You're right. It's a very conservative Supreme Court.
It's messed up now.
Is it messed up? I mean, they're counting people who live in the United States.
There's no doubt that
Conservatives don't like that it counts undocumented.
Until you can call them what they are, then they shouldn't be counted. You see, by changing the words, it's trying to appease people. They're undocumented. No. If you're gonna use the words of the Constitution, then you should use the other words in the Constitution when they call them by their rightful names. You change that, but you don't want to interpret what's really in the Constitution. You've changed the entire wording and vocabulary of how we treat people who aren't supposed to be here, and then pretend like it's not criminal.
Can't vote, but it determines who gets to serve. Every census in history up until this point.
That's for sure.
No, it also determines who's in Congress, and it might mean 20 to 30 seats. That's why Democrats are in the middle of a high-speed come-apart right now. It's 20 to 30
Well, Texas and Florida better be real careful because they're under the assumption that they don't have a bunch of undocumented immigrants residing in those red states.
Dan, and then I have one.
They love it. Now, as you've been watching the news lately, you're starting to see that they absolutely did this on purpose for this very, very reason. Their idea was to flood the zone, just like I've been telling you Trump's doing with them. Flood the zone, bring as many people as possible, have the census account for them, even though they're not here legally, and it's going to reapportion seats so that you would be a permanent class of Democrat voters. And that's why they're falling apart right now and screaming and cussing on stage, because here comes President Trump going, I know what your game was. Now I'm going to have to tear it apart very quickly. And so Texas is the first one. There'll be more.
6.
I've had it with...
Okay. This witch. I'm going to let you hear what she has to say. She's talking to you.
White people that triple trumped, that have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And if you want to
So she's assuming that those of us, well, actually not me, you white people, not me, okay. I guess I am excluded. I can go out to dinner tonight to an Asian restaurant. She's okay with that. But for you white people watching, she doesn't think that you should be able to go to a Chinese or a Mexican or an Indian restaurant because you're maggots. So her assumption here is the people who own and operate these businesses are also illegal. That's her big problem here. The white liberal crazy women think that everything is based upon newcomers.